It's Jackie New. She the truth. What's up, y'all? I had got a person in my comments the other day, and the lady, she do tarot of all things, talking about Most High. People get out of religion, and I ain't saying that this is what she's doing, but they think that it's better when they jump to a different religion. It's still a fucking religion. So she looked like she one of those Hebrew Israelites, but in that energy though. So anyway, she was talking about the Most High being what the fuck she said? Oh, she said, lean not to your own understanding. This is what the Bible says. Lean not to your own understanding, but look towards the Most High to give you directions and guidance or whatever. Yeah, that's what the Bible says, and I already know that. But I'm saying that how do you know that the Most High is pointing to an invisible entity outside of you? Outside of you. Like, the fuck? And where is it at? And how come we have not had any type of real clarity on this Most High figure in the thousands of or hundreds of years that we've been trying to pinpoint like what God is? How come this doctrine, this Bible, and this entity that you call the Most High or that you call God has not gave us any clarity? I ain't saying it hasn't showed itself to us, but why haven't we been able to get any clarity on this idea of God? Because you're looking for it in the wrong way. But so I merely explained to her what I had already said in the video. What if the Most High is speaking on a higher understanding called life, and that being that is something that we can't touch, something that is innate to us, but we can't fathom it through verbalizing. It can't talk to us other than talking to our soul and to our resonating energy that we can feel from it. How do you know that's not what the Most High is referring to? I mean, I had already explained all that shit in the damn video. But Spirit had told me to be gentle, and I've been going ham on motherfuckers lately. I'm sorry. Everybody knows that I enjoy spiritual, esoteric knowledge and astrology and stuff like that. So when it comes to astrology, I have to inform a lot of people that astrology does not equal to a spiritual system or a religion. Astrology, shit, it's in the Bible. Matter of fact, the very first chapter of the Bible, in Genesis chapter 1, it tells you, well, hold on, before I even say that, let me make sure. Yeah, I'm on point. Genesis 1 and 14, it talks about separating day from night. That's astrology. It tells you that God left signs and symbols in the sky. How do we get it fucked up? I mean, what did y'all think that was? You thought that the Bible was speaking on look up into the sky and wait to see an angel with a trumpet walking on the clouds. Is that the sign and symbol that you thought the Bible was talking about? But we're not even going to be that basic about it. Shit, it's hundreds of verses in the Bible. One in particular that tells you, I think it's in Luke, it tells you to look into the sky for the signs and the symbols that God provides for you to gain more understanding. And, but somewhere down the line, hold on, because I also want to know, what is that Bible scripture that people get it fucked up to think that astrology is evil? Hold on, I got to see this real quick. Yeah. I don't think there is a scripture in the Bible that directly points to astrology being something evil, because the Bible tells you, I'm going to show you, it's Isaiah chapter 47, verse 13 through 15. All the counsel you have received has worn you out. Let your astrologers come forward. Those stargazers who make predictions month to month, let them save you from what is coming upon you, because it describes the seasons. That's what the scripture in the Bible that says something about looking to the stars for the signs and symbols to discern the seasons. Seasons isn't necessarily talking about the winter, fall, spring, and summer. It's also talking about your own seasons that humans experience, like seasons of abundance, seasons of destructions and transformations, seasons of joy, seasons of romance. You got seasons of poverty that you may experience. You got all kinds of motherfucking seasons. And it's not only talking about the seasons in the sky, seasons in the environment, even though those even point to certain seasons that you will experience. Like in the wintertime, you're going to start feeling the need to be isolated a little bit. And in the summertime, you're going to be ready to come out and get outside. Like, that's how it works. But we're so basic and so simple-minded when it comes to what life is about. And it makes people who actually have this innate shit inside of them to dumb them down. Because I can remember thinking to myself, now these thoughts that I'm having can't be real. Because why ain't nobody else thought of this? It got to be stupid. It can't be the truth. It got to be something that someone has thought about around me already. And it's not what it is. But no, motherfuckers just Everybody don't have that necessarily. Everybody do got it. But some people have it on less percentages than others. And the ones like me and others, not saying I'm special, but other people who may have it, which I always do certain things, but was told that that's not what it is, or was shown from... Bitch, hold on. My bad, y'all. It was a spider crawling on the wall. And guess what spiders represent? You see? Correspondence to synchronicities all around you. Spiders represent what I was just hitting on about destruction and life and birth and the seasons, because I was talking about the different seasons. That's another season, the seasons of rebirth and seasons of. Matter of fact, let me see what it said. Must be significant, and I think that's where people get stuff like astrology fucked up at, because the Bible talks about divination. And false prophets, not knowing that we're talking about the false prophets in the church. We're not talking about the Bible. Don't ever say nothing about a tarot, and the damn show don't say. I ain't never seen nothing negative in the Bible regarding the sky. I don't think I saw in the Bible about the stars and the sun and the planets were positive, pointing to the direction. Lean not to your own understanding, but let the Most High or God lead and guide you to the direction that you're needing to go to. The spider is a fascinating spirit animal that is often misunderstood, like astrology and like the Bible. Although they commonly associate with darkness and death, like people think that these things are, they polarize everything. Spiders can also represent new beginnings and life cycles as well. And if you were to open up your mind and allow other things to come in, you may begin to have a different perspective on things that may not even be seemingly be related to things that's very needed within you. And it will lead and guide you to other things that have synchronicities aligned to who you are and the path that you're on and the lessons needed to be learned, with the answers also provided for you. But that's only if you follow you and your heart. Pay attention to that, not necessarily paying attention to what those other people or people around you who are more lost than you, because you wouldn't even be listening to me this far if you weren't listening to them thinking that they have the answers, when clearly you're the only one who knows what you know. God don't talk to other people about you necessarily, not about your inwardness, not about the darkest mysteries of the things that you are here to do and learn and your purpose are. God doesn't talk to other people in detail about those things. God may set an energy off of you because you are an energy field within yourself to let people with a discerning spirit be able to tap in and resonate with what it is that your energy field is involving. But God can only speak to you, and whatever God tells you, you'll never be able to relay that to anyone in the same manner that it was given to you. Now, you can lead and guide somebody to the right direction, but you can't take them specifically to where they have to go, because you can't go there. We've been indoctrinated to look at the stars and they don't even make shapes, but they've told us that those are constellations. But maybe that's a synchronicity to what the hell the Bible was speaking on regarding the signs and the symbols in the sky. The indoctrination is wrong. It's still, because see, all things are synchronized and everything has a correspondence. All things mean something. I don't care on what percentage level of how much it matters, whether small or extreme, there still is a correspondence. You can find the smallest, simplest shit and get the biggest revelation, or of course something that church don't preach on, revelation, and get the biggest revelation on something very extreme in your life based off of a bird shooting in a certain direction at a certain moment. The stars are the closest, furthest thing away from us. So we can't touch it as humans. So who put it there? Only God did. Why wouldn't we look up in the stars and skies and try to figure that out? Because I do know that I can touch the trees, I can touch the birds, and I can touch myself, but I don't have any control over the stars though. So that got to let me know that there's something that is pointing to that has a lot of the meanings and unseen mysteries connected to it. We've had an ample amount of millenniums to study the stars and study astrology and do test runs and find out if our philosophy regarding these things and archetypes are foolproof. We now are quite advanced in our knowledge. And so advanced in our knowledge that now we're bleeding over into finally the unseen knowledge. Astrology points directly to that. The stars and the signs and symbols that God left for us in the skies has the answers to a lot of the unseen things. Because spirituality is also supposed to make sense. Because see, even when I was a Christian, I knew something was missing. I'm like, hold on now. Especially after I did certain experiments in my own life as adults, going to church and praying, stuff like that. Synchronistically, things would happen, but I wouldn't understand how I was able to pull that off completely. And once you learn, like for instance, your birth chart, you may know that you are Aries, a Capricorn, or whatever, but you also have a moon sign. My moon sign is in Taurus. My sun is in Gemini. My Mars is in Cancer. My Mercury is in Cancer. My Venus is in Taurus. So those things right there tell me a lot about myself. And it ain't even that. It goes way deeper and further than that. And I ain't finna try to break that down because I'm not an astrologer. But at the same time, I do understand the philosophy and the principle behind astrology. The whole point is to give you ideas about how life actually works. It's a starting point, and it's the most pure starting point that we can point to in this reality, being that we can't taint it, and it's been here ever since we can remember as humans. The point is the synchronicity that we can catch from it. Everything is synchronized. Everything is intertwined. Everything is effective to everything else. So the planets doing what they do are just, it's only a tool. Being that this life, because see, people don't realize how synchronistic that this life actually is. Things don't be coincidences, especially when something, bam, be like, bitch, hey, you seen that? Like, what the fuck? That's a wild ass coincidence. No, that was spirit, and you haven't been paying attention, and you're still blind and didn't pay attention, and now you will face the effects of that later, and you still won't know what the hell was going on. But if you start learning how to read life, as I always say, starting with astrology. Well, I started with astrology. I started with astrology, tarot, and shit like that. And that led me to understand like esoteric. Not that directed me. The first person who I came in contact with regarding astrology or anything esoterically was Dolo the Powder Man, Archangel Uriel. And he explained and taught me the elements. And the elements come from Earth. See, that's another correspondence that God gave us that tells us directly how whatever energy that it embodies. Like Earth. We're on planet Earth. Earth is a 3D stable environment. So Earth represents stability, something that's sturdy, something that's physical, 3D, something that you can see, touch, something that can only be experienced externally. Somebody slapping your ass, that's Earth energy. Like, well, it's not just Earth energy, but shit, that's also fire energy too. And then when you get mad and cry about it, boom, that's water energy. Like, so once you understand those types of things, you can also understand how to look at not just experiences and scenarios, but actual items and know the element that it derives from. Like scissors. Scissors represent the air element. You know how the Bible speaks on the tongue is a double-sided sword. This is like sword energy. The tongue being how you speak, communicate. You communicate it out. That's air energy. My earrings. This would be what? And now that goes past elements. But anyways, I'm not an esoteric expert, so shut the hell up if you judge it or laughing. But I'm just saying though. Anyway, me talking right now, I'm in my air element. Communication is air and thoughts. That's the energy. I'm a Gemini, so I embody that. I think a lot. I talk a lot when I get to talking, but I prefer thinking. Let me not try to break some shit down that I don't know how to explain. I only know how. I'm not a teacher in that aspect. I just teach based on the example that I said. Whether that be a good lesson or a bad one. But you can learn a lot from anybody. I done learned from goddamn rocks on the ground before. And crackheads and shit. So if you would open up and experience something different that you never experienced before, stop being afraid and follow you, believe in you, listen to your heart, and not what others have told you, especially others that you've never met that are dead and probably played the telephone game with and don't even know what they were even talking about because somebody else explained that this is what it meant, but you went there to hear it yourself and feel the energy and experience it yourself. So now you're biased to some shit that was for you, some shit that would set you free. Not saying astrology will set you free. You might come across a whole different path that you normally wouldn't have came across because of your internal biases that's based on indoctrination from motherfuckers who you would never know or your parents don't know, your preacher don't know. following yourself, you can find out everything the hell that you want to know.
Go deep inside just to
Jackie
feel a
knew
vibe
she
that I
the
couldn't
truth.
feel. Time I had to kill, so I went outside to some Lauren Hill.
Jackie knew she the
Know
truth.
some people that say that they love me, but still hasn't